Woodland Bears. I have a new lesson up here for you today. I'm up here at the school, and we're going to be talking about place value and patterns in our place value chart in this lesson. So I'm up here in front of our smart board, and if you remember, we talked about the patterns that we saw in our place value chart, and we even marked them. So when we come over here and we look, we said, oh, how did the ones turn into the tens? Did we see a pattern here? And before we went on, we said, how did the tens turn into 100? Now, you know that the numbers are going up. So then we realized that we were multiplying. We could either be multiplying or adding, but in this case it's a pattern. We're multiplying by 10. So if you're going on your place value chart to the left and your place value is getting bigger, you're multiplying by 10. And we know that that continues. Now, when we look at going back, okay, we first talked about we're going from something big to something smaller. So therefore, we knew that we were going to either subtract or divide. And I said, remember, this was a pattern. And all of a sudden, you realize that we would divide and do the opposite of what we were doing the other way. So if you're going to the right, we're dividing by 10. Okay. One other thing is you need to know is 100 is 1/10 of 1,000. Okay? And 10 is 1/10 of 100. And 1 is 1/10 of 10. And of course we looked at it with our place value chart, with our blocks. And I had my examples still up here. Okay? We said that it takes, okay, if we had a unit, it takes 10 units to make a rod. But 1 unit is 1 out of the 10. It's 1/10. So that's just a little bit of a reminder of where we came up. So if we're going 1/10, okay, we're going to the right. And if we're going and our place value's getting bigger, we're multiplying. And so that is our pattern. Right here we had our notes. Ones is 1/10 of the tens place. 1/10 of the 10 is 1/10 of the hundreds place. And then we also looked at going this way as well. 10 times the ones place is tens. 10 times the tens place is 100s. So now we take a number like 400 and we ask questions such as this. We looked at it in the place value chart. You always want to look at your numbers in the place value chart. This number is 400. And I don't know if we can see that really well, so I'm going to change that color really quick to green or red. 400. And we said, oh, if we go 10 as much, okay, red. Maybe red will look a little bit better because this is still kind of hard to see. Okay. If we have 400 and we go 10 times as much, what way are we going to go on our place value chart? If you said left, you are right. We're going to go from here to here. And so, instead of it being 400, 10 times as much as 400 is going to be what? 4,000. And 1/10 of 400, what way are we going to move if we're going to move a tenth? We're going to move to the right. You got it, class. Okay, and so 400 is going to turn into 40. 20 if we go 10 times to the right, 10 times we're going to go to the left, which is now in the hundreds place. And 1/10 would be 1/10 of, I'm going to move to the right, would be in the ones place. And I know you figured it out, that is 2. Try 800, 10 times as much as 800 and 1/10 of 800, as well as try 10 times as much as 6,000 and 1/10 of 6,000 on your own at home. Okay, and the last thing we looked at, and this slide is a little bit hard to see, but 400 is blank times as much as 4. We looked at this 2 ways, and I'm just going to do this one. We found 400 in the place value chart, and if we put 4 in the place value chart in that ones place, how much more is it? Well, it's actually, how many tens? 10, and another 10 would make it 100. There we go. We also saw a pattern here. If to turn 4 into 400, we had to add those 2 zeros. So we got 100 here. How is 3,000 is blank times as much as 3? Well, some of us saw, oh, well, what would I multiply 3 by to give me the answer of 3,000? Most of us saw it. You're right. 1,000. Whoops. Oh, my. I can tell Mrs. Witt's not thinking very good today. You'll see 1,000. This last one's a challenge. I hope you can do this one at home on your own. Parents, ask your children if they can find 800,000 is blank times as much as 800. And thinking of it this way, 800 times something is going to give you 800,000. This is where we use those zeros. This one already has 2 zeros. So, I bet you your students know it before you do. Once again, thank you. This was place value and patterns within place value.